Wow.
Damn.
Domestic showdown.
So Big J was right. Brock Jarvis' chin didn't carry up. He may have went up 3 divisions from 126 to 140, but that weight, that chin didn't follow him. Here, let me mute this. So, I am T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360. First round knockout by Liam Paro. Number 2 WBO ranked fighter at 140. He was number 1 until Teofimo got moved up. But look at this right here. This was the concern by me and my Australian colleague, Big J. He's still on the corner over there. This was the concern. We're going to get you a replay. Is that Brock Jarvis, 20-0 with 18 KOs. If you look, just back in 2020, he was fighting at 126 pounds. Now fighting at 130. So, you know, he may have been, you know, he may has the body, but he was taking punches from smaller fighters in other fights. So this is pretty wild to me. I expected, I guess, for Paro to win, but damn, demolished in round 1. And then it was an ugly KO too from Paro on the Jarvis. He's still on the stool. So that goes to tell you right there. In my personal opinion, he needs to go down to 135, maybe 130. I don't know if his body can take it, but I don't think that he belongs in the 140-pound division, just my personal opinion. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe. Remember, in about 12 hours, 13 hours or so, the card for Devin Haney and George Kambosos is going to start. Let's get you the replay. He just couldn't take it. I got to be careful. I don't want the zone. Oh, it was a left hook that put him down. Okay. Now watch the second one come in. Damn, I missed it. It was the left hook that put him down. Now here it is right here. And he was down there trying to get up, and he just couldn't do it. That's the first shot. Here it is. Right there on the chin, too. Right there on the chin. He had a hard time getting up. So look, I mean, this fight really meant nothing. You know, it was Liam Paro just knocked out a blown up 126-pounder. And Brock Jarvis, you know, in my opinion, he had no business being at 135 pounds. But let me call in my colleague, Big J, and see what he has to say.
Thanks very much, Ben Damon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get our 2 fighters to center ring to make this one official. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes 29 of round number 1. Your winner, statement made, and still the WBO Global Super Lightweight Champion from the blue corner, Liam the Prodigy Paro!
A knockout victory in round number 1. The Prodigy has realised his potential. Liam Paro with his biggest night in this sport.
By the way, it is 7:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over here in the States. Haney Kambosos starts in about, the prelims start in about 13 hours. 12 and a half hours. But nice little crowd there, though. It was, you know, more than I expected. There was Eddie Hearn. We're waiting to listen to the post-fight interviews. This was on the Zone. Eddie Hearn had a big card fall through for him last week with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn failing a drug test. Really? Let's see if they do. We're waiting to see if they do post-fight interviews. But let me bring in my colleague, Big J. See what he's doing. Take a time out. Like the video. Subscribe. I'm T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360. All right, here we are with the post-fight interviews.
Dramatic finish to the night at Southbank Piazza here in Brisbane. Let's go to Ben Damon, who's with the winner.
Liam Paro, you've just produced something that not too many expected, even in your wildest dreams. Did you see it going exactly like that?
Mate, you know, first and foremost, I hope Brock's okay. You know, you don't want to see fighters down like that, but look, man, I knew I was the best in this country. I've said it for a while, and if that's not enough of a statement, I don't know what else you've won.
Just a word on the event, coming here and headlining a show like this, producing a performance like that, but just look around at what you've just been a part of.
Mate, it's unbelievable. Thanks, Eddie Hearn, for coming to Australia and believing in me. You know, Matchroom coming here. I hope this is the first of many shows. Now I'm pumped, and I'm lost for words at the moment. You know, we put a hard, long camp in with Steve Rollins over in Vegas, and you know, it was this. I've said for a while, this is my time, and I'm here to make a statement at the 140-pound division.
We saw the intensity at the touching of gloves, and then obviously early in the fight. Where did all that feeling come from in this fight?
Look, man, I just prepared well for this fight. Prepared really well. I felt it early. You know, there was a lot riding on this fight. A lot of people. You know, I've shut a few mouths, and that's just one thing I want to say. You know, people didn't believe in me who thought Brock was going to win. Please do yourselves a favour and educate yourself, because you know nothing about boxing.
What do you want to do next? It's a great opportunity in store for you now. You're number 2 in the world. Any names, any paths?
I mean, I had him winning.
One of the big names for ages, and I think I've just proved that I'm levels above the domestic scene. I want the big names, so you know, Eddie's the boss now, and I've got the best team in the world, so I'm sure we'll get something, and I hope we have a quick turnaround and back early 2023 to conquer.
Eddie Hearn, can you quite believe what you just saw? We expected a war. We didn't get that.
No, and that's how you make a statement to the world. You know, Brock Jarvis, full credit to him. You know, he rolled his unbeaten record as well, like Liam Paro. He gave it everything. But that was a world-class performance. That's how you make a statement to the division. And when you're sitting at number 1, number 2 in the world, you need performances like that to say, Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, let's bring them to Australia. Let's get Liam Paro a world title shot. Because after a performance like that, an incredible crowd tonight, he can really bring world championship fights here to Brisbane and Queensland. And that was a really, really world-class performance, a stunning knockout that will be played again and again around the world over the next few days.
We knew he was good. Did you know he was that good?
You know, people have talked about him for a long time. He's consistently worked his way up to number 1, number 2 in the world. Brock Jarvis is probably untested at elite level, but that's what you do against those level of fighters if you're good enough, if you are elite. And that was an elite performance from an elite fighter. But not just that, a show-real knockout. And that's what people want to see. You know, maybe in the past, the doubts have been, can Liam Paro punch hard enough to mix it at world level? I think you got your answer tonight, because that was one of the knockouts of the year. So the aim now, back to the gym. And by the way, that shows all fighters what a world-class training camp can do. You know, he spent 12, 13 weeks preparing in Las Vegas. He was in the shape of his life. And he's ready now. He's ready to fight for the World Championship. Josh Taylor will fight Jack Catterall, it looks like. He should be mandatory for the winner. If they want to vacate, it's Liam Paro against Teofimo Lopez. And I'll do everything I can to bring that to Australia.
Exciting times. Eddie, before everyone files out of here, a word on the show tonight. We've seen something special in the main event, but your Australian debut.
Absolutely. Look, this young man stole the show tonight, but our first experience in Australia, it's been incredible. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you for coming out and supporting the event. We'll be back very soon. A lot of Australian fighters campaigning and ready for World Championships now. You got Stevie Spark down there fighting Montana Love in a couple of weeks. A massive fight. Ebony Bridges defending against Shannon O'Connell. This man's next up for a world title for Australia.
How exciting is that, Liam Paro, before we let you go, to hear some of the things that Eddie Hearn's just said?
Mate, it means the world to me, and I can't wait to keep making him proud. And I want to thank every single person that come out here tonight. You know, we can't do what we do without you. So I love each and every one of you. Can't wait to be back.
Congratulations. That's your winner, Liam Paro.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous night here, hasn't it, at Southbank Piazza in Brisbane. So much action on.
So that's the move, to go ahead and try to make him versus Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez beats Jose Pedraza in December the 10th. Because right now, the way it should go is, I believe that Josh Taylor, he's already vacated 2 of his belts. Or did he vacate 3? I know the WBC is going to be fought between Regis Prograis and Jose Zepeda in November. I believe the WBA is already gone, right? Yup. Alberto Puello defeated Bakhtir Akhmedov. Is that correct? I covered that fight. Jeremiah Ponce and Sabril Matias will likely fight for that vacant IBF. And then you have Paro, who just defeated Brock Jarvis. Brock Jarvis was ranked. Brock Jarvis was not ranked by the WBO. But Teofimo Lopez is going to be taking on Jose Pedraza, who's ranked number 10. And Liam Paro and Teofimo, who I expect to beat Jose Pedraza. That's the DAZN schedule, by the way. Pretty shitty outside of Bivol versus Ramirez and, Chocolatito 3. But I think that's pretty much the way to go. Overall, I didn't get down until the Dempsey McKean card, so I didn't see Sky Nicholson fight. But we're going to have Big J talk about that briefly, about what's been going on with that. So we're going to get him on the horn. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and T-Street Controversy with 5v360.
I think you can sell out the Gabba or somewhere like that. I think we can put some great fights on in Australia and fight the biggest names. So let's draw them over there here and let's get the victories with stunning talent that we have like Liam Paro.
And Eddie, is that what we're talking about now? Is that what we can all look forward to as boxing fans, especially here in Brisbane?
Yeah, the aim, a lot of Australian fighters have had to travel for their big shot. They haven't minded doing it. Steve's got one coming up. Jeff had, the pleasure of doing it here in a close fight, and that's where home advantage and that big crowd really helps you to become a world champion. Why not do it for Liam Paro? He deserves a shot. If it's Josh Taylor, if it's Teofimo Lopez, you guys have fans that support, you guys have government that gets behind big events. Let's bring Liam Paro a world title shot. But I can't, not mention this man to my right, because when I went to see him in Toowoomba, he already wanted the winner of this fight. And, although Liam Paro is looking for a world title fight, if this man beats Montana Love, that becomes a massive all-Australian fight, Liam Paro against Steve Sparks. So right now, the plan for Liam is world championship. You don't know how long he's going to have to wait. Looks like Catterall against Taylor in December, January. So, like Steve said, it's a 14-week camp for these guys. I just said to Liam in there, wow, 14 weeks in Las Vegas, and it was all over in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's probably why. The preparation of elite fighters getting top sparring in America, and you guys sometimes struggle with that sparring over here, the depth of that sparring, particularly in the female code as well. So you saw the benefits of that training camp, and, like I said, Brock will be back. But for Liam Paro, it's a massive night.
All right, so Big J, you got a chance to see the knockout, as you predicted. Liam Paro, Brock Jarvis. Brock Jarvis's chin from 126 pounds, or punch resistance, didn't carry up.
No, not at all. I mean, I wasn't expecting. I don't think anyone could say they were expecting a first round knockout.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would have went a lot longer than that. But the evidence was building from the last fight when he took on the Mexican fella that Brock's punch resistance wasn't there, and he had absolutely no right being in the ring with Liam Paro.
Yeah, especially jumping up so many different divisions.
Yeah, you can't jump up that many divisions and fight the number one guy in the division. That's just craziness.
Yeah.
They should have gave him someone. They should have gave him someone at the mid or even lower levels to build him up, not just chuck him in there with the number one guy in the division in the world. Not just the country, in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So I thought that was utter craziness, and I was proven right. He had no right being in that ring. I mean, yeah, he looked all big and chiseled, but if you actually looked at his body type, he looks like a gym junkie.
Yeah.
He's got a big upper body, no legs. No, did you see how skinny his legs were?
Yeah, I did. I'm looking at them now. They're on the screen now. He's on the screen now.
That's what those young punk gym junkies look like. All upper body and no legs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was an ugly KO because he tried to get up, was rolling around, and that's when I knew, like, yep, back down to back down, not even back, but down to 135. Hell, I say they try to take him down to 130. But you think his body type, I don't think that he probably would be having issues making weight at 130.
Probably, but the problem is that you saw him struggle at 135 as well against someone who was not a tier one.
Yeah, 130 is where he needs to be.
If he can get down there. I mean, the problem with Brock is that he was fighting guys who are either coming down to their lowest weight or blowing up.
Yeah, so there was no consistency there, and tonight his chin paid the price for that.
Exactly. I mean, he fought Nought Bow champ at his lowest weight, and he fought Mark Schlebs, who was the current Australian bantamweight champion at the time. I think he fought him at 126.
He weighed in. Jarvis had weighed in at 125 and a half, and Sheb's weighed in at 121, so 122 pounder. Jeez.
No, 118. He was the current.
So he came up to 122. Oh, this guy shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Brock Jarvis shouldn't have been in there.
No, Brock Jarvis had no right being in that ring with Liam Paro. No right at all. And it proved, I mean, people were saying, oh, Brock's going to knock Liam out. Yeah, obviously not.
Yeah, I had Liam winning from the tape I've watched, and I was like, that was a big jump up in weight. But, I still haven't seen enough, unfortunately, to rate if he may be ranked world class, meaning Paro, but I haven't seen enough to personally rank him world class myself, No.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did well against the Puerto Rican bloke. He was a Puerto Rican or Cuban? The bloke that he fought before Brock in the States.
Yomar Alamo, let me see. Let me check really quick. He is a Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican or Cuban. Yeah, Puerto Rican, that's it. Yeah, and he got knocked out in that first round, but got up and won every round since. So that was good. That was a good performance.
But that's still just not. I still haven't seen enough, So it's going to be. But now he's in the deep end, because he's going to either be in an eliminator or fighting for a vacant belt.
Exactly. And as I said, this win, everyone will say it's an epic knockout, but if you actually look at the competition of who it was, it's really not that significant, which is why I didn't want the fight in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, what is the mental scarring that's going to do to poor old Brock? Because he got fed to the Lions. That's why I didn't want this fight.
And that was it was an ugly KO too. He tried to get up, couldn't.
Ugly KO. I mean, Eddie's trying to build Australian boxing. I call bullshit. He's doing the exact opposite. He puts in two blokes that shouldn't be fighting in the ring. One gets destroyed. He's putting Montana Love against Stevie Spark in a place no one's going to care about. He's ripped us off the biggest female fight of all time, and then he's telling us bullshit that he's going to put Anthony Joshua and Dempsey McKean at the Gabba. Fuck!
Yeah, what is the Gabba? Explain that to me.
It's a cricket ground. It's a very famous cricket ground in Brisbane.
Okay.
It's an outdoor stadium. But I also play AFL there as well. So cricket in the summer, AFL in the
Yeah, his
winter.
Australian venture. I mean, you got to start somewhere, but it's looking real ugly right now for his Australian boxing that he's trying to kick off.
Well, I mean, yeah, I honestly think he'll do 2-3 shows and then that'll be it. I don't think this is going to be a long-term thing. I really don't. I mean, to say that you're going to put Dempsey McKean and Anthony Joshua at the Gabba, yeah, people aren't going to forget that. I don't think that was. You can't go dangling a carrot like that in front of the audience and not deliver, which I don't believe he will. So,
but isn't it up to Dempsey McKean, especially since Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua, he doesn't really want to fight for titles. He, the way Eddie Hearn explained it is he want to fight and he want to win, and pretty much go on like a world tour.
Well, I mean,
but it all depends on if Dempsey McKean keeps winning and at least starts looking impressive. Because even though he did, get the win, I'm still not impressed with him. It just was, I'm not impressed with the stable so far. I mean, even Stevie Spark. They're trying to build him up to be, like a star and everything. But I don't get it. No,
I don't.
Liam. This should have been possibly Liam Paro versus Stevie Spark tonight. But I'm guessing Brock Jarvis had a bigger name and more appeal.
I think because Brock Jarvis has the appeal because Jeff Fenix is trainer.
Yeah.
And I think they said on commentary he's also dating his daughter, which I wasn't aware of. So
okay, there you go.
There you go. So, but I mean, Brock's following comes from Jeff being his trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone pretty much knows that. I mean, if Dempsey fights Joshua, I'd love to. I'll be there. I'm not gonna say nah, that's ridiculous. I'm just gonna say if it happens, great, but I don't believe it will.
At least no time soon, not a year, maybe two, depends.
Well, I mean, how old's AJ now? Because Dempsey's 31.
AJ's about the same age.
What's he, 32? They're about the same. Okay, right, that's all right then. Yeah, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that one. Sky Nicholson looked okay, but she really needs to get her hands up.
Joshua actually just turned. He turns 33 today. Today is Anthony Joshua's birthday.
well, happy birthday, bro. Many happy returns. So, yeah, 33. So he's still relatively young. He's still a young fella. So he's got time. As I said, Sky Nicholson, good footwork, good evasiveness, but yeah, she carries her hands far, far too low. And you can see those swinging, clubbing blow there is coming from a week away. So a good counter punch is going to be a real problem for her once she starts stepping up in the competition. What was the other fight? The Mayweather Tapia fight.
Mayweather
Good fight.
Tapia fight. Okay.
Yeah, good fight. It went the distance. Mayweather, I mean, he didn't get dropped, but geez, he took some punishment, just kept on going. And the first fight on the card, which was Rocky Odin versus who did he fight?
Ben Cameron Hands.
Yeah, that was the performance of the night because he knocked him out in about 90 seconds.
Okay.
So he stepped up from featherweight to super feather and just leveled this guy.
So overall, since we only got about a couple of minutes left, how do you rate the show? You know, on an A to F scale. You know what? Like, did it exceed expectations? Was it better than you thought? You know, or was it just about the same? I'm guessing.
No, I gave it a solid B. So yeah, I'd probably stick to that. I think it's probably unfair to go any lower than that.
Okay.
I think a lot of people will be extremely happy that Liam, with the knockout, and it was a real statement. It was a shock decision, and all that sort of stuff. But I look a little bit further into it, going, well, that fight never should have happened in the first place, and it was proven why it never should have happened in the first place because Brock didn't even last one round. How long did that knockout take? About 90 seconds.
Well, yeah, pretty much. About a minute. I'm guessing from what I can remember.
Yeah, about a minute or so. Yeah. So the main event lasts less than a minute. A total mismatch fight that shouldn't have happened in the first place, and I was proven why it shouldn't have happened. So that really puts it down. I mean, the knockout was very impressive, but
one thing I did like is that the show didn't look cheap, so at least they got that part right. And the arena was filled. It was a capacity, but it wasn't like empty. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think there was only about 2,500, 3,000 people in that arena. It's not very big.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not very big, but no quality broadcast. They got Ben Damon, Stevie Spark. They're all coming down.
Horn,
they'll be on the flight tomorrow. Jeff Horn, they'll be all on the flight tomorrow morning to get down there for Haney Kambosos too.
Which will be kicking off here in the States in a little over 12 hours.
Yeah, that kicks off at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings. What's the time now?
It's 7:43 right now, a.m. Just a little bit before 8 a.m.
Yeah, it's 11:15 that night here. So yeah, it'll kick off in about 12 hours.
Yeah, so the card starts here in the States on ESPN Plus with the prelims at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on regular ESPN, the channel, is when the main card is going to start, where it's going to be opening up with Susie Q Ramadan versus Cherneka Johnson. Andrew Moloney taking on is it Jason Moloney taking on Norberto Jimenez?
No, Jason's taking on the type.
Jason Moloney's taking on Navaphone Keikanha, and the other Malone, Andrew's taking on Norberto Jimenez. Both of those fights are eliminators. Also later on tonight, we're going to have Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius. I'm going to be streaming during the main events of both of those fights. And at 2:30 p.m. Eastern here in the States, you're going to have Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall and Mikaela Mayer versus Alycia Baumgardner. But closing thoughts on Paro versus Jarvis?
I really hope Brock is okay. I really hope that that this doesn't derail him because he is a very special talent. I really think he needs to go back down to 130. That's where he needs to stay and just build from there. So
yeah, he's only 24. He's got time,
Oh, he's got plenty of time, but I don't think 140 is where it's at for him.
Nah,
and the problem is he's very tall. I mean, he's 5 foot nine. He's 5'9". So 5'9", 5'10". That's a very tall 130 pounder.
Yes,
drops
it is.
Back down there. But I think Liam Wilson's around the same height. So yeah, but I hope that he's physically he's fine, mentally he's all right, and this doesn't derail him because I'd hate to see that because it does happen.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier in the day, people don't learn how to lose. They have one loss and they think they're fucked, which is bullshit. You're fine. You lost, you get up, dust yourself off, keep going.
Yeah.
So
also, how do you see Paro versus Teofimo go, and if that happens. Teofimo's supposed to be fighting Jose Pedraza on December the 10th. Also in December, Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor are supposed to be fighting, and if Josh Taylor wins, he's supposed to be finally moving up to 147 pounds and vacating his final belt, which is the WBO at 140. And that would open up a possibility of Teofimo and Liam Paro facing for a either in an eliminator or, for a vacant title. Or the WBO.
Nah, it'll probably be for the... I hope that... Well, Catterall beat Taylor the first time. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Catterall will probably get him again, and then Lopez will have to fight Paro for the right to fight Catterall.
Okay.
Lopez versus Paro is a very interesting fight.
And it may go to purse bid as
interesting.
well. Because Eddie Hearn will try,
Yeah.
he said he's going to do everything in his power to try to make that fight happen. So which means he may try to go to purse bid and get Teofimo back on the zone and have that fight over in Australia.
Yeah, I would welcome that. Bloody oath. I would welcome that. So that would be actually history repeating itself, because you remember when Lana Rose beat fighting Harada back in the 60s for his bantamweight title?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another fighter called Johnny Femichon who also beat fighting Harada
Okay.
when he was featherweight. So a little bit of history repeating itself. Two Aussie blokes beat the same bloke. So I would welcome that fight. Ooh, I don't know, 50-50? What do you reckon? You reckon Lopez would have an advantage?
Well, I haven't seen enough yet of Liam Paro, so I would give the advantage to Teofimo. I haven't seen enough of Liam Paro yet. I haven't seen enough. It's not enough for me to say, okay, I haven't seen enough, especially against competition, and getting rounds in. And then, against Yomar Alamo, he didn't really look too good,
Yeah. Well, look at it this way. Lopez has got that win over Lomachenko, so
that's always going to carry him. So he's shown.
Yeah, that's always going to. Exactly. And so I think Lopez will have the clear advantage, but he's got to be switched on, because if he's not on the job, then he can be beat. So
okay. All right,
it's like an.
Well, we got to get up out of here. We are short on time. You can follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy, and down below at the bottom of the screen, as you can see, you can follow Big J at Old Mate Big J on Twitter. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe, follow the Fight View 360 Boxing Podcast. Links down below in the description box, where this episode will also be available in audio form on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeart. Thanks for listening in. Please subscribe.